Ledger drama, Bitcoin Miami, the US debt ceiling, and much, much more. 9 things I'm watching this upcoming week. Hey and welcome to this video. My name is Julian. On my channel, it's all about making you crypto fit. I discuss the beautiful world of decentralization, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, investing. I actually am just charging my car and I thought, hey, perfect. Let me use that time, make a video in the meantime, and it's about the perfect time because I can do the English version, I can do the German version. It takes me about 20 minutes, and yeah, perfect timing. So let's dive in. Number one, first and foremost, happy Bitcoin Pizza Day. Yeah, May 22nd. I think 13 years ago. Yeah, 2010. Laszlo bought 2 pizzas. I think for $40. For 10,000 Bitcoins, it was, well, people debated. Is it the first or is it the second recorded Bitcoin transaction? Because there was another one where someone bought a JPEG earlier in 2010. This came out with the entire Ordinals conference last week. So kind of Pizza Day is kind of the first officially recognized kind of Bitcoin transaction. And so, yeah, happening today. So obviously there's going to be a lot of news around this as always. Number 2, prices. We are as flat as prices can be actually over the past 2 weeks already. Now, I've been following the BUSD selling. It's not really significant right now. There's not much action there. So let's see. Not really sure. Maybe it's the calm before the storm to the upside. Hope it's not the calm before the storm to the downside. At the moment, I also want to be honest, not much I'm expecting that would actually drive the price unless we have some surprises, but there's not much on the horizon this week. Number 3, we are just after the Ordinals conference in Miami last Thursday. Bitcoin Miami happened last week as well. And the feedback, very, very interesting. It's kind of split a bit. I think there are 3 different camps. You have the Bitcoin hardliners, the laser eyes and so on, who are all a bit frustrated how, well, centric the conference has become. We have discussed this actually a lot last week in our company, on our company channel. You can follow that as well. And it was less about hard money and less about payments, and it was about all the craziness. And there's obviously that second group. That second group is the Ordinals group, it's the BRC20 group, it's the builders, it's people who want to have fun and who want to kind of build stuff on top of Bitcoin. They say, hey, it's not just money. And it's kind of the second group. And I think that first group was a bit frustrated, was excited though, but a little frustration. I think that second group, super hyped right now. And I can see this a lot. I mean, we invested into a project and they're doing well. So, I can see that there's a lot of excitement and some hype and everything around this. So it's quite interesting to kind of see this. The very interesting part, there's a third group, and that's like the average kind of retail investor, maybe not the hardliner, but like more on the sidelines. And their feedback was that it was a rather underwhelming conference. Not a lot of people, and of course, I mean, it's a bear market. No kind of news, no kind of, I don't know, like that's why we're all gonna get rich quick. So it was interesting, right? So typical kind of, well, boring bear market sideward movement. So I just thought this was, really, really interesting to kind of as feedback. Number 4, the ledger drama. I made a separate video on this. Watch this. Let's see how this ledger drama is continuing. And I think at the end, it all is going to boil down to how okay are people that the seed, the private key, could actually leave this secure element, that this is just a software box, not a hardware box. So I think that's, to be honest, the main thing that this comes down to. Also, not much alternatives. So let's see a bit. Maybe Ledger is kind of improving the PR around this. Let's see. It's going to be, I think, an interesting one. Number 5. Number 5 is the US debt ceiling. There is a whole lot of negotiation going on. President Biden, really weird statement, said something about that because of all the crypto people making so much money and avoiding taxes, he cannot kind of negotiate in a better manner. What he's talking about is the entire concept around tax loss harvesting. So that means if you're in minus, you can offset those taxes. to be honest, that's something also stock investors do. That's what everyone is doing. So very weird kind of argument. The media obviously loves all this. The media is really kind of jumping on this. And I think it's going to be a lot of the, well, political left and right kind of fighting against each other instead of trying to find a solution. So let's see. At the end, if they would find a solution, I mean, obviously everyone would win unless they would do any kind of crazy kind of, well, tricks in there. So yeah, let's see a bit in this. Also, this Friday, we're going to see, or Wednesday, 24th of May, we have the FOMC minutes from the last meeting. So that's going to be interesting to kind of see a bit of the sentiment. But I don't think there's much coming out of this. I think we all are expecting no further rate hikes going forward. I don't think it's needed. I think that's what the market expects. Would be super surprising if the Fed would shift that a bit. Also, really key to understand, the rates not going up doesn't necessarily mean that now the market rallies. Most of the time, it's actually the exact opposite. That kind of stagnating is normally kind of a second wave of bear market. So let's not that this happens. But there's a lot of indicators right now. They kind of point at a recession. I posted this on Twitter. Credit card debt really, really high. Consumer debt really, really high. Consumer confidence very low. People's interest in buying a new home very, very low. People having spare cash very little. So all these things not very promising. So yeah, fingers crossed it's not going to get too bad, too dirty. Number 7, our own thing in our group's retail division on Cake side. We launched new yield vaults last week. You can get actually quite some high returns on your DFI, on DUSD, on Bitcoin, ETH, stablecoins. Check this out. Very, very interesting. Very nice yield machine here. So yeah, take a look there. Number 8, our group's enterprise division, Levain, really firing out of all cylinders right now. Yeah, we are onboarding companies, so take a look. Custody solution, maybe very interesting, levain.tech. And on the retail side from before, cakedefi.com. Last but not least, a project where we are actively contributing from our R&D side, from Birthday Research, is DeFi Chain. DeFi Chain has FloppyNet live last week. A lot of projects building on top of this, testing now. This is going to go into testnet in 1 or 2 weeks, and then afterwards, if everything is smooth, by the end of June, fingers crossed, we have mainnet. That should be very exciting. So if you love building on top of EVM, check it out. And if you are a DFI investor, that's really good. And if you're thinking about buying DFI, probably a nice time in all of that. So yeah, 9 things that I'm watching. Let me know if I forgot something. Let me know in the comments. Any kind of questions, suggestions, input. Yeah, would be definitely interested to hear. If you get value at this, let me know in the comments. Click a like button. Click the subscribe button. This also helps the algo to recommend that to other people. And with this, have a beautiful week. See you next time. All the best. Yours truly, Julian. Bye-bye.